Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tea with Z. My name is Zamel Solanki, and it's an absolute pleasure to be joining each and every one of you again on another episode this morning. And if you are watching live, give me some likes, give me some hearts, because that's what it's all about, is that energy exchange. Because at the end of the day, us as human beings, us as mammals, us as living organisms, that's what we're all about, is energy exchange. Now, speaking of a high pumping group, the Limitless Network. Now, the reason why I really want to touch on the Limitless Network specifically this morning, is because tomorrow we have an exclusive episode only shot within the Limitless Network, and it's growing each and every week. And for those that are in the Limitless Network, thank you so much for being a part of it. It's great to have you on the journey, and to all of those watching on LinkedIn and on YouTube, a special shout out to you as well, in addition to those that are watching on Facebook or Meta or whatever it's called now, or whatever it will be called. Yeah, big shout out to you as well. So, jumping into today's topic. So today's topic is essentially talking about, I guess, when we're looking at challenges or opportunities within our business, and when we're reviewing the state of our business and sort of looking at ways in which we can improve it, we tend to focus on single things. We tend to focus on things in isolation. And the reason why I really wanted to bring this up today is when we look at not only from an entrepreneurial set, but even from a patient care perspective, when we look at the symptoms that a patient might present with, and if we start to look at it in isolation, which a lot of us do, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but when we look at it in isolation, we tend to ignore anything else that might be contributing to that. And I'm going to start with the patient sense, and then translate this onto the entrepreneurial sense. But when you look at a patient in isolation and they come to you with a symptom, and it might be a headache, it might be a sore tooth, it might be that they've got knee pain, for example, and probably going on, or they've got arthritic pain or something along like that. And when we look at these things in isolation, well, yes, we can treat these signs and symptoms in isolation, but there might be other things that are compounding that. For example, frequent headaches, might be, if we're treating it from migraines, but if we're looking at in isolation, not really digging down the cause of when these actually start to occur, we might find that this is occurring specifically when I'm reading. And as a result, my eyes might be straining. And as a result, I'm getting headaches because my vision isn't actually correct. And as a result, I might need to see an optometrist, or I might need to see an ophthalmologist, or whatever that might look like. And so, as a result of just exploring one symptom, that might be the symptom of another issue. And what I really wanted to do was translate that thought and that same sort of process that we take, and so often we take that same route with patients. We don't just look at patients in isolation. If there's persistent symptoms, we start to expand that field and go, well, what could be causing this? We've tried A, now let's look at B, let's look at C, let's look at D. What other ways can we look at that problem to look at it a little bit more holistically, to ensure that we're treating the cause and not necessarily the symptom? But one thing that we do in business is we don't do that. We look at a problem in isolation and just try to tackle that problem, think that we've sorted it. That problem then comes and creeps back up, and we tackle it in the same way. And then we tackle it in the same way. We don't start to really explore what other contributing factors might be leading to that symptom. And just think about that for a sec, because if we're not looking at our business holistically, and if we're not understanding those roadblocks or challenges that are standing in our way from doing that, or from actually treating those symptoms, what actual effect are we going to have when we actually go to, just constantly keep addressing those symptoms in the same way? Are we actually then just band-aiding the problem? Are we band-aiding the problem and not actually delivering a meaningful solution to an issue that we may not have taken the time to actually really explore and deep dive into? We, like I mentioned, we do this with patients. We look at a symptom and we go, okay, well, what could be causing it? Let's try and treat that. Okay, well, that didn't work. So what else? That didn't work. So what else? That didn't work. So what else? So in our entrepreneurial sense, in our business sense, or in our business, in our personal lives, if something isn't working, what are the questions that we're asking to ensure that we can get to the root cause? And Toyota with a D, this process actually got used with Toyota with a T. Was asking, he would ask five whys to actually get to the root cause of a problem. And that's what I really encourage each and every one of you to do in just whatever daily life that, daily occurrences where a symptom might pop up or an issue might pop up, is ask five whys. Because by deep diving into understanding why something has happened, we can then get to the bottom of it. Now, it might be hard for us to explore that ourselves. It might be that, we might need to involve the team and ask the team, why? Why do you think this is happening? We might need to ask our colleagues, our friends, another party, whatever it might look like. Because at the end of the day, you're going to get more collective input. You're going to get more collective feedback as to why these things might be popping up. It's going to remove a bias that you might have, a comparison bias that you might have that steers you in terms of a direction to find the answer that you really want to have, to justify your method of thinking. And so it's really important that you not only translate this action for yourself, but you actually encourage others to do it with you. You encourage feedback from others to come to a conclusion that actually identifies the cause, the issue that is leading to those symptoms. And without doing that, you could do all the work that you can, but those symptoms will keep popping up. For example, that initial example I gave with the headache, and that was a very broad example and a very general example, but you might start, giving them Panadol, for example. And we all know Panadol. I'm just using this as an example. This is not healthcare advice. But we might start giving the Panadol. Okay, well, the Panadol relieves the headache, but the headache comes back. Okay, we'll just give more Panadol, but the headache comes back. We'll just give more Panadol, but the headache comes back. The Panadol is band-aiding it, but we haven't asked why the headache is coming. We haven't asked why the headache is actually presenting and explored all of those avenues. And so that's the same thing that, like I mentioned before, is that if we translate that same sort of mindset, that same sort of avenue that we undertake with our patients, with that, even not just with our patients, but with our customers, our clients, the way in which we service them, then if we can take that, translate that solution that we try to find for our customers, our patients, our consumers, and translate that into improving our business, that same sort of mindset, then we're going to be able to identify things a lot more effectively and efficiently, but then also as a result of that, understand the root cause and work on that. And I'm not saying that's going to be easy. That's going to require a lot of work and time and effort, but that's what it requires. That's what it requires, because at the end of the day, are you band-aiding it, or you're actually suturing it up properly? Band-aid is 2 seconds. A proper suture is obviously a lot more time. And so that's the sort of, I guess, mindset that I'm trying to encourage out of today. And what I really wanted to ask is, my question for today is, where does this pop up for you along your own entrepreneurial journey in your life? When something happens, do you take the time to pause, take a breath, and go, why? Ask why. Or do you react to the situation at hand and then make decisions based on what you just see in front of you. Because as a result of doing two different things, we get two very, very different outcomes. One is very reflective, one is very reactive. And as a result of that, what can we do then to change it? What can we do to ensure that we pause, we take the time, and we reflect rather than react? So that's my question for you today is, where is this showing up for you in your life, in your personal life, in your business life, along your own entrepreneurial journey, even with the customers, your consumers, your patients, and how you offer advice to them, how you offer solutions to them, how you offer products to them? Because at the end of the day, if we're coming with the mindset of we are solving an issue, we are solving a problem, versus we are treating a symptom, we are resolving a symptom, the effects of that and the meaningful effects of that are going to truly compound. So that's my question for you today. I really look forward to seeing your answers in the comment section below. Something to really reflect on today. But also, if you want to jump into the Limitless Network, because the Limitless Network is a great place to share your thoughts, your open, your open thoughts as well in the Limitless Network, because that's what it's all about. It's a community of like-minded people that value health in any way, shape, or form. And these are really good reflective discussions that, at the end of the day, you can sit on, you can ponder on, and just really work to empower yourself to actually, really identify the why, really identify the issues, the problems, rather than just always reacting to the symptoms. So that's it from me today. Have an amazing day. I look forward to catching up with you exclusively in the Limitless Network tomorrow. But before then, I really look forward to reading all of your comments as well. And if you are watching a replay, definitely be sure to comment as well, because that's what it's all about. As you know, I respond and engage with every single one, because that's what communication is all about. Awesome. Alrighty. Have a great day and catch you tomorrow in the